why Carlos Baleba to Manchester United would be an outstanding transfer for Ruben Amorim for Manchester United going forward, and the player. We're going to break down what the player would provide to Manchester United and where they go from here, because ultimately I'm going to spoil the whole video. Baleba at Manchester United changes the entire trajectory of that club, even next season, let alone into the future. Baleba's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. He's got the capacity, he still has a lot of work to do, to be world class. I say that seriously. I think you could maybe doubt Sesko, maybe you could doubt Cunha. I think Baleba's got a higher ceiling than anyone Man United have signed in many, many years. This guy's absolutely outstanding. And if Manchester United, according to all reports from David Ornstein and The Athletic, are seriously interested, really close to trying to bring this guy in, it would be a power play, the likes of which we've not really seen Man United do in many, many years. Yes, they've spent big money. You think of Di Maria, you think of maybe Lukaku coming in, Pogba. But the old school Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson, they did have shiny transfers. Of course they did, from different leagues. But the core of what Manchester United used to do was sign top talent that are Premier League proven and take them out of clubs in and around Manchester United. Leeds United, Cantona, Andy Cole from Newcastle United, Rooney from Everton, Ferdinand from Leeds. It goes on and on. Now, obviously, a lot of clubs do this. There's a lot of transfers within the Premier League, but Manchester United just cherry-picked the best players out of all the big clubs in the Premier League. They've done it this season now. Cunha from Wolves, Mbeumo from Brentford, Sesko, if that happens, from under the noses of Newcastle United. So you feel that if Baleba joins, he's their best player, Brighton, by 100%. When he played for them, played a lot of football last season, more than he's ever played his sort of second season at Brighton. He held that entire side together. And when he wasn't playing for them, he had a few injuries around the middle of the season. They completely fell apart. He is an outstanding footballer. He really is. And Brighton have got a tradition of selling these kind of high-quality midfielders for £100 million. So we know they're in the market as a selling club, with all due respect to Brighton. And Manchester United must know that the money's there. If they can get some money in for Anthony, for Højlund, for Sancho, for anyone else, and they've got the money at their disposal to have a go, you have to go and get him. You have to go and get Baleba. He's one of the best young midfielders in world football by a country mile. Some of his statistics are absolutely outstanding. Firstly, 87 pass completion record last season. That's standard. You're not going to get a game in the Premier League if you can't redo those kind of numbers, particularly for a stylish side like Brighton last season. But he was the only player last season in Europe's top 5 leagues to get 30-plus tackles, interceptions, clearances, take-ons, and aerial duels won. That is his game. He isn't maybe a stylish footballer in the same way Rodri is in terms of controlling a game from a deep line position. He will get the ball, he'll break it up, he'll drive with it for 5 to 10 yards, open space, open angles, and then he'll give the ball simply. I think there's a lot he could still work on in terms of how he passes the ball, how he actually moves the ball via passing the ball. But driving with it is athleticism. And when he gets there, he actually makes the smart decision. He never loses the ball. But his ability to win it in the air, big tackles. I remember a game against Man City at the Amex last season. He completely changed the game. He was almost like a Kante, again, a little bit like Caicedo. He was absolutely outstanding. He's even got a little bit of the McAllister about him as well. He's more than just a destroyer in midfield. He's got quality. He's a Rolls Royce on the ball. I think if he adds a little bit more to his game as well, he could be one of the most well-rounded, powerful midfielders we've seen. He reminds me even of a kind of young Michael Ballack. That kind of role is absolutely outstanding. Michael Essien as well. I mean, Chelsea has so many outstanding midfielders, but that kind of old school, powerful box-to-box midfielder, the price will be an issue for Manchester United. We're looking at 100 million quid, aren't we? Let's be completely real. Caicedo, I don't know if he impressed me in the same way Baleba has, to be completely honest. Slightly different footballers. And he went to Chelsea for £100 million. If Man United got the money, by the way, they have to do it even if it's £105 million, because he's worth it 1,000,000%. But ultimately, it's going to be a big paycheck for another young, talented footballer. But we have to talk about it because Ruben Amorim, I think, is being backed in a way that not even Jose Mourinho is backed at Manchester United, not even David Moyes. Ultimately, he's being given young, high-quality footballers that want to play for Ruben Amorim. Sesko wants to come. Cunha looks gas being there. Mbuemo's gas. He was desperate to join Manchester United. There's an energy, a real electricity around Manchester United right now. And if Baleba comes through the door, it's going to change things even more. It's going to take that on to a whole different level. It's absolutely ridiculous how good this signing could be. But I'm going back to Amorim because he is wedded to a system. I'm critical of the system. I don't know how you win a Premier League with 3-4-3 right now. Maybe things change and he goes back to a 4-3-3 or something like that, 4-5-1. But right now it's 3-4-3. You need one of the two guys in that midfield of the midfielders has to be high energy, has to be pacey, powerful, has to be well-rounded. You can't have slow midfielders. And you feel at points Ugarte was off it a little bit. Kobbie Mainoo's had injury concerns. I rate him highly. Mason Mount isn't a midfielder in a 2, and I think he'll be gone if this happens. I mean, it's another player that doesn't fit the system. And you're looking at it and thinking, actually, Bruno Fernandes and Baleba, is it that? That looks decent. Still, I think Baleba will probably need a little bit more support around him as well. But Baleba's so good, he could do everything by himself. Rodri at points single-handedly wins football matches because he can do everything in midfield. Kante was very, very similar. Casemiro at Real Madrid, very, very similar. Baleba is of that ilk. He can do everything at a very high level, and he can be almost an extra man in midfield. I think that's what Manchester United desperately need if they're wedded to 3-4-3. You can't build a whole side around Baleba, particularly at the fact he's 21 years old. But if you can build him with Kobbie Mainoo, him and Bruno Fernandes in that midfield, it is looking far more interesting at Manchester United. They still need a keeper. I think they can get away with a back line. I really do. I don't think you can spend more money on centre-backs. I think they've got enough at the club right now, struggling to move certain footballers on in that department. A keeper with Baleba, these guys are looking to top 4. They really are, or top 5 these days. Top 5 gets you into the Champions League. You're talking Sesko, Cunha, Mbuemo. It goes on. And then you're thinking Baleba in midfield. I mean, it's craziness. It's craziness. He's Brighton's best player. Brighton finished comfortably above Manchester United last season. And they're making power plays like they used to do with Sir Alex Ferguson. I think Amorim's being backed in a way that no other manager really has in recent times at Man United. And whatever you say, even if you don't think he's the right manager for Manchester United, he's building a nucleus of players that certainly can adapt and be at the club for many, many years and maybe bring them back to success. There's still a long way to go, but trust me when I say this. Baleba, if he comes into Manchester United, is the right move, and it would be an outstanding transfer. I think Man United are making more of an exciting transfer window than maybe even Arsenal. I mean, seriously, some of these players are better than the ones Chelsea have signed. I mean, these are facts. More ambitious than Newcastle United. Aston Villa. Nottingham Forest. So Man United are moving upwards if they can get Baleba. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think it's going to happen? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. This would be a fantastic deal.